It's a warm welcome to you viewers as we meet on this week's episode of Crime Watch, a program brought to you by your police service, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, to inform you of our roles and operations. I'm your host, Tendekai Dandaratsi. It's good to have you along. The Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage, Honorable Minister Kazembe, recently visited ZRP Bulawayo Province and ZRP Fairbridge District. During his tour, the minister raised concern on people who are flouting COVID-19 lockdown regulations. He emphasized that the COVID-19 lockdown regulations apply to every citizen and must be observed in order to curb the spread of this novel virus.
I've noted with concern that some people, they continue to move around without masks. They probably just put them on when they are passing through roadblocks, but thereafter they take them off, and people are not maintaining social distancing. I'm also receiving a lot of phone calls that must have been actually on the rise. So I'm kindly asking you to ensure that people observe the regulations, because this pandemic is still with us and the numbers, they continue to go up. And again, to the general, we need also to continue informing the public. Kuti atingamiriri, of course, mapurisa vane basa rekuchengetedza mutemo, asi zvimwe zvacho atingangomiriri mupurisa kuda kuchengetedza upenyu hwako. Haungamiriri mupurisa kuti auye mustriti ega ega achikuti pfeka mask, achikuti ita social distancing, because chirwere ichi hachisarudzi. Dai inga iri hondo, kuti kwauya hondo futi dziri kurira, pane munhu aimirira mupurisa kuti take cover, handi munhu kungotiza. So it's the same thing. We need to continue educating the public to be responsible without having to wait or to delegate everything to the police.
Police continues to deliver its corporate social responsibility in assisting the community in various ways, including the fight against COVID-19. Recently, ZRP Support Unit Shkurubi Urban District used public order vehicles to fumigate the Women's University in Africa campus in Harare as part of their corporate social responsibility. Crime Watch caught up with the university's Director Marketing, Communications and Public Relations, who had this to say.
We want to convey our sincere thank you to the Zimbabwe Republic Police. As you know, our headquarters at the Aksuras Road in Mandresa Park, we are neighbors with the Support Unit HQ, and they have since come on board to help us during this pandemic. Since our lockdown on the 24th of March, this is their third time coming to our campus for fumigation. So we want to invite everyone that it's effective during this pandemic to have partnerships, especially the ZRP. Today they are fumigating for the third time because our students are opening the new semester on the 14th of September. So as they will be coming from all over the country, we also want them to come where we feel that it's safe in as far as COVID guidelines are concerned. And at the moment, we feel that we are safe and we are protected. As far as ZRP is concerned, they are not only maintaining peace out there, they are also making sure that we are COVID-free.
As the Zimbabwe Republic Police, we continue to offer corporate social responsibility. Recently, we were fumigating the Women's University in Africa, where we were also contributing towards the fight against the pandemic.
Moving on, the Zimbabwe Republic Police urges members of the public not to respond to WhatsApp, Facebook or other social media platform invitations for them to access millimil at GMB depots countrywide. Of late, the ZRP has received reports of criminals who are approaching unsuspecting individuals, churches, parastatals and other institutions, offering them millimil at subsidized prices and then tell them to transact through EcoCash or RTGS. Once the transactions go through, the recipients disappear and no millimil is delivered. The GMB has already appealed to the public to report to the police. Let us safeguard our accounts and approach service providers directly. The police will ensure action is taken on these unscrupulous syndicates. In the wake of people who have lost large sums of money through online investment schemes, the Zimbabwe Republic Police CID Commercial Crimes Division, CCD, took time to warn people who are in the practice of duping members of the public of their hard-earned money through these schemes.
Pyramid or Ponzi schemes, which are also called online investment scams, have been on the rise. Criminals are creating fictitious WhatsApp groups or even on Facebook, whereby they advertise non-existent investment opportunities, which promise to return very high profits within a very short period of time. The criminals are also employing crowdfunding techniques, whereby one is promised a reward for referring one or two friends to join the scams that I've just alluded to. People are made to deposit money into be they bank accounts or mobile money wallets, on the promise that they will realize profits, some in as short as 24 hours. Once the money is deposited into the criminals' accounts, they will vanish into thin air. We urge the transacting public not to believe those fake investment opportunities that are advertised by the criminals. In any case, participating in those scams is actually criminal. According to the Bank Use and Promotion Act, Chapter 24.24, every person who intends to get into an investment business should have a license which is issued by the regulator, which is the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe.
There you have it, viewers. Let us work together to rid our community of these criminals. Crime Watch takes a short break. Join us in the second segment. Welcome back to the second segment of Crime Watch. ZRP Western Commonwealth in Bulawayo, working together with Bulawayo Crime Prevention Unit, managed to arrest 4 people who were posing as police officers and members of the Zimbabwe National Army. The 4 were wanted for various robbery cases in Bulawayo and Filabusi.
We arrested 4 wanted persons, namely Noah Bambe, Hlanhla Moyo, Farai Tabu, and Fortune Ndlovu. We were carrying out our routine checks, and we went to Makokoba area to one of the accused's place of residence. We searched his house and his motor vehicle, and we recovered 2 sets of police uniforms and 2 sets of army uniforms. And then we arrested the 4, took them to the police station. After further interviewing, we established that they actually wanted in Filabusi, where they were carrying out specks of robberies posed as uniformed forces.
We appreciate the information we are being given by the community, and would like to thank members of the public for their continued support in giving us information. I would like to urge members of the public to verify particulars of police officers each time they are approached at their homesteads, workplaces, or wherever they would be, because it is a requirement that the law enforcement agents identify themselves. If there are any queries, members of the public are also urged to notify or verify through the nearest police station.
As schools have started to reopen, in particular exam classes, the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe encourages those traveling back to schools to continue observing good driving conduct and take note of ways to stop the spread of COVID-19.
We have noted that the government has announced the reopening of schools in a phased approach, starting with the exam classes this particular mid-September as we move forward. What does it entail in terms of road traffic safety and the risks associated with this hustle and bustle of road traffic activity? With the increased volume of road users, there is always the increased risk of road traffic crashes. It is recommended, or we recommend, that there be organized transportation of these students or pupils to and fro their homes as much as possible. Where possible, schools must make sure that they are abiding by the guidelines of having to make sure that their buses are disinfected twice every day. The public transportation system is under obligation to obey these COVID-19 guidelines on transportation of people. However, the major risk is on the roads. Saka tiri kuda kuti madriver, please be on the lookout for abantwana vedu vana vechikoro vari kuuya vachita move up and down the road to be able to attend to their exam issues. Drivers have that responsibility upon your shoulder, and beyond the shoulder is upon your conscience, because in the theater of humanity, life demands accountability. The driver must be accountable for the transportation of the passengers. Vana vari kuenda kuchikoro nemiwo vana vechikoro grade 7, form 4, form 6 who are going to write your exams, concentrate on your period of examination, because vamwe venyu vakufamba murodhumu vakutodzoka vachitamba, vamwe vakudzoka vachibereka motikari, because you know the side of the road you are supposed to walk once you are dropped. Even at drop-off points, there are safety precautions that you must take care of. Don't be distracted as vana vari kunyora bvunzo, pamwe vanyora chemistry paper. It was a hard nut to crack. Do not let that cloud your mind so that you are not able to be alert as you use the road as a passenger, as a pedestrian. We call that distracted walking psychologically. We also want you to be your brother's keeper as you move up and down with others. Alert each other to be safe on our roads. That's the collective goal of collective development in order to eradicate road traffic deaths, injuries on our roads.
We are in the third and final segment of Crime Watch. Swift reaction by ZRP Makonde district led to the arrest of 14 suspects who had robbed property worth thousands of United States dollars. Property which include diesel engines, compressors, jackhammers, electric motors among others, valued at 45,000 United States dollars, were recovered. Officer Commanding Police Makonde District, Chief Superintendent Elliot Magomo, who was also part of the arresting team, gave us this story.
Recently, we received a call from one of our neighborhood watch committees who is in the village Chikuti, to the effect that there was an armed robbery that was in progress at Allen Mine. In response to the call, I assembled a team of duty uniform branch, support unit, dogs, and a member of the ZNA, and mounted a roadblock at 123-kilometer peg. Moments later, a lorry that was laden with the property that we are seeing arrived, and we reacted to it and managed to arrest 13 accused persons and recovered all this property. Further investigations led to arrest of further 2 accused persons, and we also managed to recover a canter laden with other property, and another Nissan Sunny, which was also laden with another property stolen at Allen Mine. I want to assure the public of Makonde district that they are safe. We have got our eyes all over.
The officer commanding police, Mashonaland West Province, Commissioner Priscilla Makotose, commended the team effort by the district.
I take this opportunity really to appreciate all my staff for having been so good officers, particularly in this COVID period. Despite all the challenges, all the fears, we were able to continue to make sure that we are implementing our mandates, enforcing law and order, and enforcing all the laws of Zimbabwe, including the COVID-19 restrictions. For the period January 2020 to August 2020, we actually managed to reduce our crime by 19%. And this has been possible because we have been really going after the criminals, and we've been able to arrest some of the criminals. We have also been interacting with our different communities and conscientizing them of the prevalent and the menace crimes that we are experiencing. And those who take heed to our advice have been able to, circumvent some of the crimes that could have happened to them.
Police will leave no stone unturned in hunting for criminal elements across the country. Recently, Crime Watch visited CID Vehicle Theft Squad in Harare, who nabbed some robbers.
Now, talking of the eradication of criminal elements, the Criminal Investigations Department Vehicle Theft Squad Harare has nabbed 3 people after they robbed a white Toyota Hilux, which is behind us here. I have Detective Inspector Tendai Nzirawa to tell us more on what transpired. Sir, can you tell us how you eventually arrested these 4 accused persons?
After the robbery of the motor vehicle on 31st August 2020, information was received from members of the public that there was a motor vehicle which was being repainted in Mufakos. Detectives from CID Vehicle Theft Squad Harare carried a morning raid at that house in Mufakos, but they managed to arrest one of the accused persons who led to the recovery of the motor vehicle. The arrested accused person then led detectives to the arrest of his 2 accomplices in the same area in Mufakos. The seized pistol was recovered from one of the arrested accused person after it was searched. It was found being tagged on his waist.
So what would you want to tell members of the public in connection with such robbery cases?
As Zimbabwe Public Police, we are urging members of the public to observe the curfew which is in place and not to move during the odd hours of the night. We are also appealing to them not to carry strangers in their motor vehicles. We also want to urge members of the public to put in place the tracking devices on their motor vehicles so that it will be easier for us to track them whenever they are robbed.
As the Zimbabwe Republic Police, we also urge you to comply with such robbers in case they pounce on you. It is also important to report at the nearest police station at the earliest of opportunity. We also caught up with the complainant, Mr. Morrison Zingai, who narrated what transpired.
ndaibva kukwekwe ndichiuya kuharare saka ndaakusvika pawarren park kuti muna 4th avenue ndakadzingirirwa nekamota kesilver kasedhani kasina number plate kumashure saka kabva kandiovateka nokuya kumberi kwangu saka ndakabva ndabudirwa nevakomana 2 vava vakabata kuti one wacho nobva auya padhoo pangu immediately akabva avhura dhoo akati vanga vari mapurisa vanga vachinditsvaga ndiri armed robber saka ndakabva ndasungwa maoko ese ari 2 immediately vakabva vatora motikari umwe wacho akabva aenda pasteering akatisodera pakati umwe nobva apinda kusaidi rekuruboshwe mota yakabva yadhiraivhiwa yakananga kugrenary ndakapa ripoti kumacid kuti motikari yakanga iri patrek saka mota iri patrek macid yakati isi mota tinodi zhinji tinodzirikafa ende ine handina kudhauta saka vadaro cid yakabva yakwanisa kurigavha mota nobva vatizivisa kuti aiwa mota tava nayo saka pakare ipapo vakabva kwanisa kubata matsotsi ndoda kutenda mapurisa nokuti kubva pandakasiyiwa musango ndo vakanditora vakafamba neni netsoka kwedistance yakapedza 1 hour kuti tinosvika kupolice camp usiku ihwohwo vakandiperekedza kuenda kunzvimbo yakanga yaitikira sini.
COVID-19 is still with us, and we ought to embrace the realities of the new normal. A local security company takes us through some of the ways we can adopt in our workplaces and in our homes to curb the spread of COVID-19.
Today, we're discussing how to keep safe in the COVID era. Apart from protecting your homes and businesses against robberies, as Sekiriko, we have gone beyond in acquiring state-of-the-art equipment that uses artificial intelligence and in line with WHO regulations, the World Health Organization, to keep your places safe from COVID-19. The equipment can do 4 things. The first thing at your premise would be fever detection. The second thing would be mask enforcement. The third thing would be contact tracing. And the 4th thing would be social distance enforcement. Under fever detection, we have gadgets like this one here, which can record temperatures at the gate, at the workplace, and keep a record of the temperatures for all your staff. We also have gadgets like this one here that you can also fit at a main door that will look for your temperature, that will look for whether you're wearing a mask, that will also look for whether you're wearing the mask properly. So if your temperature is high, if you're not wearing a mask, or if you're not wearing it properly, or the quality of the mask is not proper, you won't be allowed access for that day.
Please wear a face mask. Please wear a face mask. Authenticated.
The third thing is compliance with social distance measures at a workplace or at home. This is where the temperature screening equipment can actually measure the distance between everyone at a place and then give a warning if people are getting too close. The fourth thing you can do is contact tracing. We have had CCTV systems traditionally for a long time, but now CCTV systems can be used for contact tracing. If you want to know if somebody tested positive and you want to know where they've been, who they've met, that can be done quickly using CCTV systems. All these solutions will help in reducing the spread of infections across the country. They also help to quickly detect who is infected and finally be able to do contact tracing and all the people that the infected person met during his working or visits.
Before we come to the end of this week's episode, would like to highlight some of the people on the police wanted list. Munyaradzi Manuka, age 30, of Mchurunamo village, Chief Njelele Gokwe, is wanted by Gokwe police for a case of theft. Nigel Guru, age 21, of Nika Business Center, Bikita, is being sought by ZRP Bikita for a case of assault. Lastly, John Chikowa, aged 19, of Chikowa village, Chief Mazungunye Bikita, is wanted by Bikita police for yet another case of assault. If you have information that may help us in the location of any of these people, feel free to contact any nearest police station or contact us on the following details. Our National Complaints Desk number is 0242 703 631. The website address is www.zrp.gov.zw. Our email address feedback@zrp.gov.zw. We also have a Twitter handle @PoliceZimbabwe and a Facebook page Zimbabwe Republic Police. To those who may have missed any of our programs, do not despair as you can watch any of our episodes on our YouTube channel Zimbabwe Republic Police. This brings us to the end of this week's episode. It has been a pleasure having you along. From me, Tendekai Dandarasi, and the crew behind the scenes, pleasant viewing.